Guys, I just liquidated my entire Wealthsimple Invest portfolio worth over $50,000. Why? It's not because I think the market is about to crash, although it might. Nor is it because the fees were too high. I'm just tired of robo-investing in ETFs and bonds that provide little returns and are packed with companies that I know almost nothing about and don't believe in. I have a goal of having $1 million before I'm 35, and at my current rate of growth, I'm not likely to reach that level until well into my 40s and maybe even my 50s. Both Warren Buffett and Peter Lynch say that to make real money, you should invest in no more than 3 to 4 stocks that you know really well. If anyone's investment advice is worth taking, it's probably theirs. So here's what I'm doing. But first, make sure that you smash the like button if you're interested in this type of content. It helps me decide what kind of videos to make, and it costs you nothing. Okay, back to the video. I'm taking my entire portfolio and rebalancing it from this to this. That's right, I'm pumping up crypto from just over 5% of my portfolio to 30%, and I'm knocking ETFs down to 15%. I'm also concentrating on 4 stocks that I really know and believe in. When I'm done, 90% of my equity portfolio will be in these 4 stocks. I'll be buying like crazy over the next few weeks to get these allocations. I'm not selling or paper handing any of my high conviction stocks. I'm just adding to plays that I like more than the broad market. Maybe I'm crazy, but how many people do you know that got rich investing only in broad market index funds? Sure, it's a great way to preserve and grow wealth, but it's not a good way to get rich. Here's the thing, I could put all my money in VOO or some other index fund and watch it grow at 8 to 10% annually before inflation. If I'm lucky, starting with my current $200,000 portfolio, a 10% annual return and an additional $2,000 per month added for my savings, it will take me nearly 14 years to hit $1 million. And in 14 years, $1 million will likely only buy you what $700,000 could buy you today. So I won't even be a millionaire by then. It will actually take close to 20 years at a 10% annual rate of return for the portfolio to be worth $1 million in 2021 dollars. That sucks. I'll be 50 years old and I'll have enough to buy half a house in Vancouver. So instead, I'm gonna make riskier bets that I think could return significantly more than 10% annually over the next 5 to 10 years. My goal is to reach $1 million net worth in 2021 dollars before I'm 35. To do that, I'll need to invest significantly more per month and also achieve a significantly higher rate of return. In fact, I'll need to average 25% annually to hit my target. Do I think it's possible? Absolutely. Do I think it's risky? Of course. In Finance 101, we learn that it is very difficult to beat the market and that you can't generate higher returns without taking on significantly more risk. Here's the thing, I think it's riskier and less rewarding to invest in a whole bunch of companies that I know nothing about. I want to pick a few companies and asset classes that I understand really well and that I believe in and put a bunch of money in those companies. As far as my goal goes, the good news is there are technologies emerging right now that are layering exponentials on top of exponentials in terms of their ability to increase productivity and economic output. Self-driving cars, 3D printing, computing, big data, genomics, and biotech. Picking winners in these industries will virtually guarantee massive growth and returns. The challenge is knowing which ones will succeed. The great investor Charlie Munger, colleague of Warren Buffett at Berkshire Hathaway, told a really interesting story that made me think deeply about investing in broad market index funds in a new light. His story went like this. Imagine you're an investor in the early 1900s. The US has no interstate highway system and automobiles are a brand new invention that are only for the rich. Now, imagine you get a glimpse 100 years into the future from a time traveler. You saw all of the highways, cars, trucks, roads, skyscrapers, and everything else that emerged. You only got a quick glimpse. Not enough to see the makes of all the cars, but enough to know that the automotive industry was in for a rocket ship ride to the moon over the next 100 years. How would you use this knowledge back in your time to make money? Could you just invest in every car company and wait until they started to explode? Not really. The problem is that over 95% of all car companies that ever started failed. Only a few succeeded. So even with the foreknowledge that an entire industry was going to dominate the next 100 years, you still wouldn't be able to get rich just by investing in that industry as a whole. It just doesn't work like that. Entire industries grow for long periods of time, but many companies within those industries will fail during that time as well. So what does that mean for ETFs? For me at least, it tells me that I'll never really maximize my returns by investing in every company in in every industry. Sure, I probably won't lose in the long run, as long as the economy keeps growing and companies keep making profit. The problem is, I don't have a competitive advantage in every industry, so I'm just holding and hoping that the industries in the S&P 500 keep doing well. Instead, I've realized that my best opportunity for hitting my 25% annual growth target is investing in only a few companies that I know, understand, and believe in industries that I know will experience exponential growth over the next several years. Stay tuned, and I'll show you which stocks those are and why I've picked those stocks to comprise such a large proportion of my investments. Part 1 covers cash and commodities. Part 2 covers the ETFs that are remaining. Part 3 covers the equities that I'm talking about, those 4 big stocks. And Part 4 is crypto. Check out my YouTube Shorts playlist for a breakdown of each part of my portfolio. For now, guys, that's all. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'm excited to continue on this journey to $1 million. We'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.